Hi guys, Namaskar. This is Sanjeev Dikshit from India, and as I promised, this is my third video, and it talks about the truth behind the time. So, in the Earth time, when we have calculated, we knew that the time frame for the number of days in a year for Earth. That is, if we see with reference to the center of the solar system, that comes to around 333.333 days, right? We have seen the time factor of 108, and in the universal time video we have seen the time factor of 1008 also. So now here we are trying to find the true time, because for like 32,000 doesn't play much when we talk about the scientific time figures. For example, uh, as per the NASA calculations, for the date of birth of Rama, Lord Rama, that was found around 7,000 years back. And when we talk about the Mahabharat war, or we talk about Lord Krishna, it happened around 5,000 years back, right? So if we are talking about the real Kali Yuga, which was of 4 like 32,000 years, this is not logical. And if it is logical, then maybe the science data or radiation data, that is not right. So this is not easy to challenge the science. This is I must say here. But our ultimate goal is to find the true time, right? Which can challenge even the science also. So we are trying to find the true time. Once we find of course, the true time cycle of the time frames, which is working in the solar system, within the solar system, on Earth, or maybe in the universe, we can find lot many details about the ancient data. And this is why we are going to calculate this here. So let's start with this. So there are the stories about time frames beyond our planet. Science has always given us an approximation, not the proven time calculation. For example, you see the formula of Einstein, that is for the time dilation. It works only for two values, probably for 0 and infinity. But we are trying to understand the real time dilation, right? So we'll try to understand it here. So if you talk about the yugas or eras, we had four eras in one Mahayuga, that is called Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, Sati Yuga. I'm sorry if you don't know about this data. So this is a quite famous data in Sanatan Dharma, which is originated from India itself, and they talk about the heroes in these yugas, avatars of gods also. So we are taking this data as a source for us, and we are trying to calculate some mysteries for what the calculations has not been given to us so far. So all of them, all the data together, all of them yugas are known as one Mahayuga. If we see the total, if we calculate the total of Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Sati Yuga, it comes to 4320000, means 10 times of the Kali Yuga. So one revolution is equal to 2 into 1 Mahayuga, as we have calculated in our previous video. So that comes to 864,000,000 years. Then if we see the mathematical relation between the yugas time, so Kali Yuga was for like 32,000 years, and Dwapar Yuga was 8,64,000 years. So Dwapar Yuga is always double of Kali Yuga, Treta Yuga is always triple of Kali Yuga, Sati Yuga is always 4 times of Kali Yuga value, and one Mahayuga is equal to 10 times of Kali Yuga. One revolution is equal to 20 times of Kali Yuga, if you see with respect to the time frame of Earth. So these are lot many pictures you can find on Google's when you are searching for Kali Yuga or Yuga cycle, or even Isha Foundation, Sadhguru has also given some calculation of 25,920 years. So I'm not saying somebody is right or somebody is wrong. We are just trying to find out the better version of the time cycle, right? So everybody was looking for a balanced number. They have found this too, even, but they are not happy. Symmetry wasn't helpful for being logical, because symmetry was never logical for any of the time cycle. I've seen one documentary on, I think pyramids of Giza. So they were again looking for a balance of the Earth diameter, then percentage, maybe the 1 degree angle, or maybe 1% of the dia of the Earth they have taken to calculate it. See, it was the structure design based on their precision, their logics and their mind. So you cannot always search for a balance. Balance is not the base of our life. So what different we are going to do here is we are going to find right calculations, then imbalance of the space, because what we were calculating so far or what we have seen in this data, it talks only about the balance. It never talks about the imbalance, but imbalance is the truth of life. So let's start without wasting our time. This is one structure what we have shown you in the previous video also. So it starts with the Satyuga, then Treta, then Dwapar, then Kalyug, then descending Kalyuga, then Dwapar, then Treta, then Satyug. And this is how we are completing one revolution around the center of Milky Way. Let's come to the calculation part. So ancient data says one divine month uh, is equal to 30 years of Earth. This is the data I have found on Google. This is the data I have seen in many of the documentaries where people are talking about the ancient data. I'm really sorry I cannot read Sanskrit very well. But what I found this data, you can find this on Wikipedia also. So one Kali Yuga was equal to 1200 divine years. For me, if I understand this, if I see 30 years of earth is the divine time for somebody. For me, a month is when moon around the earth completes one cycle. That gives me the value of 1 month, right? So for 30 years, if some planet or maybe some bigger mass is completing some cycle, maybe a month in 30 years of Earth time, that means its moon is rotating around us, revolving around us in 30 years time. That happens with the sun, and that is done by the Jupiter actually. So one Kali Yuga must be equal to 30 into 12 months, because 30 years is the time for 1 month, one divine month, multiplied by 12 month, multiplied by 1200 years of divine years of Kali Yuga. So it comes to 4,32,000 years. This is how they might have calculated the value of Kali Yuga that time. But is this the right value? I doubt it. So I will do some different calculations. So we have already calculated this in the Earth time calculation, that we have a 108 factor within our solar system for the time with respect to the center of solar system versus with respect to the time of Earth. So 1200 divine years for me on Earth is equal to 1200 multiplied by 1.08. That comes to 1296 Earth years. That is one thing, right? We know that number of days in a year in with respect to the solar system, solar center is 333.33 days per year, as we have spoken in our past video. So if you calculate the actual number of years in Kali Yuga, that comes to 4,32,000 divided by 333.333 equal to 1296 years. This is a very exact figure. So actually, when Vedas or something, maybe Upanishads or maybe Puranas, when they have spoken about the timing of Kali Yuga 4,32,000 years, they were talking about the flips of the earth. They were not talking about the revolution of earth around the sun. So this is, I think, where we have made some mistake, and that's what been followed by the people for thousands of years, for millennia, and we are practicing it, which is not right, which may not be right, I must say, because you can pick a pen and you can calculate it yourself. So the new timelines for the yugas are Kali Yuga is equal to 1296 years, then Dwapar Yuga will be, of course, is going to be double, 2592 years, then Treta Yuga is going to be 3888 years, then Satya Yuga is going to be 5184 years. Mahayuga is going to be 10 times of the Kali Yuga, that is 12,960 years. Then revolution is going to be double of Mahayuga, means 25,920 years. So the data, which is the balance data given by many of the religious organizations for one revolution, I think this is a very much reliable data, very good data. And I'll tell you people, if you know the Earth is speed on its orbit, I think it's 30 meter per second or something, 30 kilometers per second, something like this. But if you consider the number of days are 360 in a year, then if you calculate how much distance Earth is moving in the space in 1 degree cycle, that distance comes to 25,920 kilometers. If you want to check, you can go through the Googles, you can find the speed of Earth and you can calculate how much it will run in 1 day time. You can find it very easily. This is quite easy. This I'm not giving you in this presentation because that data is really not important for me. We are going to solve some universal time here, right? So this data is really not important, though it is a relevant data, but I don't think this is a proof to science, right? So I want to prove something scientifically, so I'll give you some other examples. So till now we have just confirmed that calculations of what we already know or what people have already told us about or what we can find on Google, right? So what is special about it? We'll see. So far we are calculating the balance and need to find the balance for true calculations. We need to remove the balance and should find the imbalance. So we are looking for the imbalance in the universal time. Remember the next slide, as this is going to change the complete study of the time for future and will tell you about the difference in balance and imbalance. So this is one slide what you have seen at least 2-3 times in previous presentations also. What here we are talking about, see at your left, ascending Kali Yuga, 1296 years, and it is multiplied by 2, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 4, okay, as it is going towards the Satyuga. Same happens in the lower half also. But this we are talking about the balance, right? And we are searching for the imbalance. So revise it once again. Kali Yuga is 1296, Dwapar is 2592 years, Treta is 3888, Satya is 5184, Manvaha Yuga is 12960, and then one revolution is 25920 years. So let's talk about the science a little bit. Every mass in the space, if moving, it's moving because of gravity, that is one thing. Then if it has a spin speed, means spin speed is variable with the time. That is why, because every time what we are moving, we are just doubling our number of days. Like Kali Yuga is having 1296 years, then Dwapar is having 2 multiplied by 1296 years. So there is a possibility. Every mass revolving, a bigger mass is revolving because of its gravity. And every mass following a revolution has a farthest point and the nearest point on its orbit. So when mass comes from the farthest to the nearest position, the attraction gravity force will increase. Suppose something is coming close to me and I'm creating a gravity pulling that mass. The delta t time it travels towards me, the delta g force is increased. Right, so every time every moment it is coming close to me, the gravity force is increasing. So what will happen, this body is coming close and close to me, so time will be reduced because force applied on it is really high. In the upper half from Satyuga to Kali Yuga, the sun must go far from the black hole and hence gravity pull will decrease because it is the perfect imbalance. So when it is coming to the closest point, then the gravity force will be increasing and then the orbit size is going to be a little smaller. When it is going from the nearest point to the farthest point, the orbit distance from the center of the from the galactic center is going to be a little more because gravity force is continuously reducing, so it is going to be imbalanced. So what I do is now I try to imagine if sun is suspended with the black hole with a string. In that case, when going in a lower half cycle from the Kali Yuga to Satyuga, sun will keep on getting closer to the black hole. When going in the upper half from the Satyuga to Kalyuga, which is actually the closest to the farthest point, sun will keep on going farther from the black hole. That means the length of the lower half will be much shorter than the upper half side. Now, somehow logically I have decided this time to be 100% because we are starting from zero when we are born actually in our house or maybe in a hospital, and we are completing at the 100% of our life when we are dying. So every cycle in the universe follows this 100%. Though I have little bit more logical scientific data also about this, but that will come later when we are talking about the speed of light or maybe the definition when we are trying to redefine the gravity. Okay, so not now. So what I have done is, in simple terms, I have divided all the eight quadrants into the 100%. So if I'm taking the partial movement fraction, it is coming to 12.5% for the each quadrant for each yuga. So in the lower half, where the distance from the galactic center is continuously reducing and force is increasing, this time will pass much faster. So I'm going to multiply this time by 12.5%. And in the upper half, when this sun is going farther from the galactic center, this time is going to be a little more. So we are going to multiply it by 12.5 in the ascending yugas. So the length of the lower half, which is reading, has to be 12.5% less than what it should be for the balance, and the length of the upper half, which is increasing, has to be 12.5% more than what it should be for the balance. So this is our structure of imbalance. So this is again our balance structure I have shown, but the imbalance data, if you see, the descending yugas are 1152 years each, multiplied by the spin speed of 1x, 2x, 3x, and 4x, means 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times. But in the upper half, 1296 is multiplied by 1.125, so it comes to 1458 years, multiplied by 4x, 3x, and 2x, and 1x. So here one more thing what you can actually remember, that spin speed is continuously increasing or decreasing during this one revolution. So what do you notice from the above structure? This is 1458 years for the ascending yugas and 1152 years for the lower half cycle, descending yugas. So if we trust on the concept of gravity, we need to trust on the concept of moment of inertia also, and that's why every time the sun moves to a fixed distance around the center of Milky Way, but the gravity is increasing and hence the number of spin will also increase. If the pulling force is increasing, right, and the it is applicable to vice versa also. So have you seen the motion of a top at your home when you covers more distance when you are throwing it on the floor? Its spin speed is controlled, and when it turns either side or if it try to stop, the spin speed will be increased due to some force, right? Due to the moment of inertia. So if top is fixed to the location with a variable force, the spin speed will act accordingly. So the actually Earth moves fixed 1296 years in one era, but the spin speed will vary, that we have already discussed. So new Kali Yuga will be uh, equal to 1296 years. Time felt on Earth is 1296 years. Dwapar Yuga we have already considered it, right? And these are the new calculations. So if you are multiplying it by 1.125%, 12.5%, then ascending yuga's time will be 1458 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4. And after calculating the imbalance, if we see the descending yugas, 1152 it will come, multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 and multiplied, sorry, all fours we have, 4 we have covered. The spin speed of Earth in the different yugas is going to be 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times. And this is going to be your actual structure. So you can see in upper half all the yugas are of higher length, right? In the lower half, all the yugas are of comparatively smaller length. It also tells you that galactic center, because the inner cycle, the round one, red one, that is your galactic center, maybe the black hole. Okay, so your galactic center is not at the center exactly. That is bias. It is forming a kind of egg. You have seen egg white and egg yolk also. So this is the yellow part at the center, and rest our orbit is the white shell. So what do you know from this video is the sun is spin once in 27 days. The number of days in a year with respect to the solar cycle is 333.33 days, that you already knew from the previous videos. The number of days in a year with respect to the Earth time is 360 days. The Earth spin speed is variable with the time. That is most important because science hasn't accepted it yet. Currently, the Earth spin speed is increasing day by day because we are into the descending eras, right? Then currently we are in the descending Dwapar Yuga, that I have given with the help of calculations what we have just calculated. So what else extra we know from this video is the actual descending Kali Yuga was of 1152 years. The current Dwapar Yuga is exactly of 1152 years, but on Earth we will count as 2304 years. The coming Treta Yuga will be of 3456 years. So accordingly, you can calculate when the Treta Yuga is coming, when Sati Yuga is coming. Sati Yuga is going to be 4608 years. The total time traveled by the sun is going to be 1458 multiplied by 4 plus 1152 multiplied by 4 means 10,440 years of static time. I call it static because I don't consider the spin time of Earth what we are calculating on our calendar time, right? Other than this, if you see the complete revolution time with respect to the Earth time, it is going to be 26,100 year in total. If you see the total time means 1458 multiplied by 10 plus 1152 multiplied by 10, it is going to be 26,100 years. And mind this figure 26,100, because if we are completing one revolution around the center of Milky Way or galactic center, it is going to take 26,100 years for us to complete one revolution around the galactic center. Why I'm telling this so? Have a look on the next slide. This is a really important slide because I have seen this post on Facebook somewhere, and which says that German Space Agency is claiming that the distance of the galactic center is exact to be 26,100 light years. If you're searching for this on Google, you will find at least hundreds of links which will tell you, which will provide you the data about this distance. This is one more data which shows that Milky Way galactic center distance from the Earth is around 26,100 light years. Don't ask me why it is written light years here, because I have given you the data of uh, years only. Now you tell me, if you are sending some source of light, our sun's light is not able to go anywhere in the universe out of this solar system. Even now, after the Parker solar probe, we know that whatever light or photons we are getting from the sun, it comes in a form of flares. So it is not like homogeneously sun is spreading light all over, right? So if any light from the sun, which is so powerful, is not coming to any planet directly without any support of flare, how is it possible that you are sending some data to the center of galaxy and it is going there without any hurdle? Then we have theories that nothing comes back from the black hole. Then how this light is coming back to you? So this is my question. I'll invite your views on the same. I would like you to think about this. Why our data calculation, time calculation is coming to 26,100, or why science has given that data? Because I know if I'm throwing any light, it will follow the path of light only. So my light is going to follow the path of the solar system orbit, and it will come to me when I'm calculating this. It will give me the exact calculation of 26,100 years. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, if you like anything, any calculation part in this video, if you have any doubt, you can inbox me. And if you like it, please share it as much as possible. And you can clear your queries. You can send me, inbox me your queries. I'll try to reply you as much as possible. Thank you for being with me, and wait for the next video, because scientifically we are going to prove that this time is correct and it can help us a lot in future. Thank you so much, guys.